I like to have my name on that Star Wars game. Sure, that's me, George Lucas. Did you know I made a Star Wars game? George, you know, it's a pleasure to have you here at Respawn Studios. We're working on Jedi Fallen Order. This is a game that takes place between episodes 3 and 4. And we are pleased to bring this world to life. Thank you, George, for creating it. That's cool. Can you make her eyes bigger? What was that, George? No. I mean, can Jar Jar, can you get Jar Jar in the game? George, why are you in a bathrobe? Nothing.
Heard Saw's hoping to find some news of Tarful at the refinery. A report came in this morning that he's been seen in the Shadowlands. One imperial transmission pinned him near a Wookiee village, as if there aren't hundreds of those in the area. Stormtroopers.
My canon favorite Wookiee noise is this one from Oral Nuts. Oh!
Over here! Could be supplies inside this walker.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Phew. I'm fine. Maybe a little bruised, but it's not so bad.
Don't scare me like that.
Can I not get over there?
Let's keep looking. There
Guess
must be
not.
something useful in this heap.
That looks a little jank. Some invisible wallage. Vinny, did you hear the story about how George Lucas wanted the main character of The Force Unleashed to be called Darth Insanius or Darth Icky? You're gonna have to stop that right now, because I believe that. Yeah, his last name is Thump. Icky Thump. That's real? Okay. Great. We're going back to green, everybody. You know, I'm gonna switch up lightsaber colors. When I unlock more colors, I'm assuming through this playthrough, my lightsaber will have been every color. But green is still my favorite because of Luke's damn lightsaber in Return of the Jedi. But blue is nice too, though.
Have either of you heard the Parsons?
Rumors and cantinas, but not much to go on.
They call them radicals. Yeah, I heard the Empire's got bounties on their heads.
You go to cantinas?
Jedi aren't easy to find. We needed news.
And drinks. Anyway, that's a story for another time.
If anyone's wondering, anyone who's just joining, we are on Kashyyyk at the moment. That's why there's a bunch of Chewbacca's. So this is Itchbacca, whose back is always itchy. This is Lumpy, who's got a little lump in his throat because he's so nervous. And this is Blokaka. Apparently I missed a scannable.
Got a call from Saw. They're almost ready.
Oh!
You're right. We can't afford to fail.
I'm sorry, I just love Wookiee noises so fucking much. They're great, aren't they?
If anything goes wrong with this plan, we're finished. Mari's mapped out the nearest garrisons. The Empire won't have time to send reinforcements.
Yeah, I missed a scannable somewhere in there, and that's fine.
Moving out. Saw should be at the other end of this trench.
As long as there's no bad guys, everything will be fine.
What's this? No way across. Maybe something around here can help.
Vinny, do you hate even the thought of one viewer relaxing and falling asleep to your stream? No! No. People fall asleep to my streams all the time. Hell, I would. The way you worded that was pretty funny. Nope.
Look, a workbench.
I mean, you're not gonna be able to if I'm making Wookiee noises.
How much current can you conduct? Well, with this transformer, I bet you can short-circuit Imperial tech.
I'll buy it. It's dumb, but I'll buy it. That Cal needed to find a workbench in order to get this ability. And before this, he didn't even have the idea to do so.
Let's try it.
He found shit on the bench. Yeah, like I said, I'll buy it. That's fine. What?
BD1?
All right. Just big spiders. Do you think the Chewbacca's eat this? They probably, unless it's poisonous. Maybe they eat it because it's poisonous and they trip balls or just get stronger from it. Is there a thing I'm supposed to do with that? Turn off electrocutable. Turn. Stop the current. Stop it when you want to use it. Yacht. You cannot get that secret now? Yeah. You're right. Well, so far it looks like you can't because the zip line goes the other way. I mean, you would think a Jedi could master gravity. Or a Jedi, maybe, when faced with a situation that requires him to go really, really, really fast in between these red force fields to save Master Qui-Gon Jinn, he'd be able to use the Jedi fast ability to run through them at, like, triple speed so that he could get to his master. But that wouldn't make for the same level of dramatic tension. He was a Padawan? Yeah. I mean, he was a Padawan when the movie started, and he ran real fast. And then, like, did a high jump out of the droid ship with Qui-Gon. He wasn't leveled up. Someone said he wasn't leveled up. His mana was low, maybe. Because he was fighting Darth Maul, so his mana was low. Does anyone here like midichlorians? If so, throw yourself off the Star Wars fandom. No, I'm just messing with you. You're all good. If you like midichlorians, that's cool, bro. Nice save. You like that save? Thanks. Vinny, what are you doing? I know what I'm doing. Watch.
BD1, over here.
Got it.
Got a scan?
Flame beetle.
I really need a stim.
The funny thing is, so midichlorians are the count of force in your bloodstream, like in your blood cells. So when that was introduced, a large portion of the Star Wars fandom was really upset because it made the force lame. I guess the idea being like the fact that you have to have a certain level of things in your bloodstream meant that not everyone could just be a Jedi.
Imperial sap refinery lies dead ahead.
What does the Empire want with tree sap?
Nothing good. They refine the sap into a powerful compound, and they're rushing to expand production.
We have to stop them.
That's the plan. We don't know their end game, but they spread themselves too thin. This map we recovered proves it.
Here you go, bud.
These refineries double as brutal prison camps. We use those cutters to create a distraction, while you take your lightsaber and free the Wookiees inside. We need their help to stop the Empire.
Understood.
Okay, that's cool.
Watch yourself in there.
I like Forrest Whitaker.
Needs my help. Come on, buddy.
And I think it's cool that he's in the game. But I gotta be honest, this character does nothing for me. I don't have the attachment to the Clone Wars TV show. Hang on a minute, I'm plugging my phone in. Here's more spicy papinyots if you're ready for them. So I mean, I recognize him. That's cool. But what was I gonna say? Oh, so the midichlorian thing, I do remember that and Jar Jar were talking points of why people didn't like Episode 1. Or, you know, what, like, because on some level, midichlorians in your bloodstream was either interpreted as that's how you have the Force, or it's just a count of how Force sensitive you are. And notice they didn't really do a whole lot with midichlorians after that. But then, at the end of Last Jedi, there's a scene that shows anyone could be a Jedi, and people also got upset. So, I don't know. That was the thing that upset me least about that movie, actually. I just feel like there were other dumb things, and that was fine. That was okay. I mean, you've heard the story before, but I'll tell you that I was, you know, when I saw The Last Jedi, there were things that didn't make sense to me. But I was like, ooh, ships, ooh, lightsaber battle. And then I was like, oh no, they're doing this, but then I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Some kind of drill? Maybe. Think we should call it in? Will that be a breach of protocol? If there's a disturbance, their squad should call it in. Yeah. Better do this by the book. Yep.
But, you know, I was also very easily... You know, like, you watch a movie... I didn't get spoiled. I ended up watching the movie, I ended up enjoying it in a theater of people that were clapping. And I thought, like, oh, okay, there's some good stuff in here. There's also some bad stuff in here. And Mark Hamill, like Luke Skywalker's character thing...
Hey, above us!
was really weird.
Got a shot! Got one of us!
But on some level, I enjoyed the movie.
You and me.
But then I figured, well, okay, well, I've watched the movie now. Now I can read some people's takes on it. And even before Red Letter Media
Another one?
made their review, people were losing their shit.
I'll check it out.
And I am a weak, pathetic fool because I read everything. And I watched Red Letter Media's analysis. I mean, I will admit my shame. And I figured, well, no, it's not the worst movie ever. But let me read all these reviews. Let's see what people are freaking out about. People on the internet, Star Wars fans, were like, well, this is a thing. This is a thing. This is a thing. Why would Luke do this? Why would this happen? How come they didn't team up? How come this didn't happen? And I'm like, you're right. Why didn't they do that? Or like, wait a minute. You're right. Why did that lady with the purple hair?
This place as a hideout in their battle against the Empire.
Why was she so mean to idiot Poe Dameron, who's also an idiot? Why does Finn ride a giant dinosaur thing, stupid thing? And why is there a giant tit lady? I figured, I watched the movie, I'm gonna have just a little bit of fun reading people's opinions on it after the movie's done. And, I'll be honest, it ruined the movie for me. Oh, there's the walrus milk. I tried watching it again, and you know the story, chat, but I'll tell you again. I tried watching it again, and I couldn't. I just got upset, and I was like, oh, this could have been so much better. This scene could have been cut, this could have been done better. This feels like an intentional, like, fuck you. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know, chat. Is it worth even reading stuff online? I love Red Letter Media, but I will admit that there are occasions where they've...
Identify yourself. Come on, let's get him. Let's got him.
where they have, changed my mind on stuff. And I have to be real careful to not let that happen, because it's an easy trap to fall into.
Faster than I thought.
Vinny, I love RLM too, but I think they've been a detriment to the concept of Star Wars. Oh, yeah. However, those reviews have provided me so much entertainment. Oh, I see what I'm doing here. I'm an idiot. Okay. Half of Red Letter Media hates Blade Runner. I don't agree with them on a lot of things, honestly. There are definitely times where I...
Attention all units. We've lost contact with our troops stationed at cargo pad 119 Greg.
Someone else get up here!
There are times where we've diverged quite a bit. I love Jack and Jill, for example.
All right.
But yeah, it wasn't even really them. I get that people, you know, would watch Red Letter Media, myself included, and be like, well, these guys know what they're talking about. They're film buffs. They make films.
You can't beat us all.
But with The Last Jedi, it was not them.
Over. He's hit.
If I'm not mistaken, Rich Evans actually liked The Last Jedi.
Smash him. Find him. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta scan this R2 unit.
Okay, I'll look.
The poor bastard. A variety of astromech droids, also known as astrodroids, were utilized by the Galactic Empire to complement their vessels, providing routine maintenance and mechanics. They served a variety of repair duties as well as advanced navigational operations, strategic logistics, and data computation. Vinny, Last Jedi isn't that terrible, but all the people online saying if you hate it, you're entitled made me hate it. There are times where a thing becomes like a cultural, like, zeitgeist of criticism that can actually actively kind of semi-ruin a thing for you. I'm sure you've seen it recently. And I've engaged in this. I'm a human. I make stupid mistakes. But I'll tell you what. I am not going to rewatch Last Jedi before I see Rise of Skywalker. Just because I don't want to. It's really weird. I would, on one level, I kind of want to see it again, but I also have a hard time watching that movie now. And it just brings back a lot of bad feelings. I hate that that's how it is, and maybe I'll get over that one day, but... You know, I was talking to Joe today about Game of Thrones, and we were talking, he's like, doesn't it get tiring? Because I was being really critical on the final season, and I was just making fun of George R. R. Martin naming things.
Ah, Westeros! It takes place in the west! Winterfell! That's where winter falls!
He can't beat all of us. Keep your distance.
A little help. That feels better.
Someone said, you let controversy influence your opinions too much. It does, you're right. I still like Rick and Morty. I'll take that hit. That's fine. But otherwise, you're right, yes. Gotta work on that. I hope to grow as a human being and not let that happen as much. But it does get tiring. Honestly, it gets tiring to have to play devil's advocate in my head for everything. And part of that is because of the streaming.
Stim, here!
We're always with you in spirit? Kind of, yeah.
You'll die like the rest. I'll impale you.
This guy barely even has any midichlorians. I know. Well, let me put a cap on what we were talking about. While it does get a little exhausting, I would rather be... I would rather be critical of something on some level and also appreciate its positives and try to see the good and the bad than just consume all product. Or not, you know, try to use my brain.
That's right.
Someone get him.
Get in here.
I'm after him.
But it can be exhausting, and I have to be a little bit more careful about...
Won't kill me.
outside stuff influencing how I feel about things. That's definitely a to-do on my list. That said, in the case of The Last Jedi, that is some shit I will never unlearn. There was a lot of fucked up stuff in that movie that...
You are weak. I'll
knowing it, it's like, okay. That said, I don't hate Rian Johnson. I know there are people still 2 years later making YouTube videos about how they don't like Rian Johnson and he's a hack and he's a liar and all that stuff. I don't really care that much. I still think it's shocking that Disney gave the reins of the entire franchise to one dude.
I'm feeling the pressure.
I mean, even J.J. Abrams had a team of people, and Lawrence Kasdan write the movie with him. Gotcha.
We've got them on the run. Keep pushing. Looks like you're blocked. I'll fix that. Never seen a trooper like that before. You gotta get these Wookiees out of lockup. Keep moving, Jedi.
Electro Staff Purge Trooper, Hunters of the Imperial Inquisitors. The Purge Trooper track survivors of the treasonous Jedi Order. Operating in the shadows, they scour the galaxy to assist Inquisitors in their sinister mission. This specialized class is skilled primarily with the Electro Staff, providing a lethal challenge to any lightsaber-wielding foe. Their agility and penchant for vengeance are displayed through a deadly combination of intuitive counterattacks and trained maneuvering. I like some of this stuff. I was wondering, chat, those Electro Staffs, aren't those what those droids had in Episode 3? When Anakin and Obi-Wan were fighting Grievous on the bridge? Okay.
Tight fit, huh, BD?
Flame beetles, they're coming through the walls.
Hit their nest.
They should have just had Steve Bloom do all of the Stormtrooper voices.
Affirmative.
He can't beat all of us.
You have to deal with me now, Jedi.
Yeah, do I? That's unfortunate. Flame Trooper. The Flame Trooper is a specialized commando supporting the war machine of the Galactic Empire, highly proficient in the use of incendiary weapons. Their flame rifle has a range of roughly 10 meters, canvassing a wide but short range. Though limited in their agility, they make use of their weapon by restricting a target's freedom of mobility and forcing them into position. Although deadly, their flame rifle utilizes a combustible fuel source that requires them time to cool down. They're like slightly not snowtroopers. I was slightly resistant to the idea of, like, other Force-sensitive people hunting down the Jedi when they started delving into that stuff. Because it's like, well, wait a minute. There's 2 Sith Lords, and there's Luke Skywalker by the time, and that's it. You know, so it's like by the time Episode 4 starts, it's just that. But then you kind of have to think...
Into this thing? Okay.
Oh, and Leia, and Yoda. Yeah, and Obi-Wan, so never mind. Yeah, there's a couple Jedi and a couple Sith. However, Darth Vader didn't kill every single Jedi by himself.
You had no idea that was there, did you? You just wanted to turn that cutter on.
Like, he couldn't have. He killed a lot of them. I remember when I read the lore of Star Wars, when I was thinking about it a lot, when I was a kid and stuff, it was like Darth Vader hunted down and killed all the Jedi. That was my idea of what happened. But it does make more sense that the Emperor would have, like, commissioned a group of, like, trained scumbags to go hunt down the Jedi so that Darth Vader doesn't have to do it himself with his busted-ass suit. There's no legs, stanky ass, no busting up, no... Oh, wait, let me do this. Someone said it was better when it was mysterious. That's the danger, I think, of expanding any lore that means something to people, is that... I don't know if I agree with that entirely, but I get what you're saying. But yeah, I mean, leaving certain things mysterious is actually... You know, you fill in the blanks yourself, and it becomes a thing that you can think about. Like I did when I was a kid. It's like, explaining how Han Solo got his dice, or, or whatever. It's like, alright, well, I don't really care about that. Oh, God!
Help!
Someone else get in here.
Don't want to hurt you? Is that what he said? Don't let him hurt you. Oh. That makes a little more sense.
All right, then.
No more!
What was in there? Wonder if Grease can cook with these.
I got a little further in Dragon Quest. How can I tell you what happened? I did the whole sequence after all the people are having the same dream. Really, really good stuff. I really enjoyed that part. Well, it's either this way or the other way. Check the map. This just takes me back here.
I need help!
Patrol the base. Got another breach down here. Some kind of webbing. Hey, who's that?
What is it?
Oh!
Give me a stim!
Whoop. Remnants of B-1 battle droids who stormed Kashyyyk for separatists during the Clone Wars. During the battle, the separatists were defeated, the Republic became the Empire, and the Clone Wars came to a bitter end. Oh yeah, that's them. That's them boys. The most useless pieces of hardware the Empire could have ever developed, except it wasn't the Empire, it was the Trade Federation, never mind. Isn't it crazy, like, bro? Like, that the Trade Federation were actually the good guys the whole time, bro? The Empire. No, they weren't the good guys, but they were, they say this, the real quote is that the enemy of my friend is enemy. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So they could have been friends. They were used. Someone said something about Tommy Wiseau. You know what? I won't read this today, maybe tomorrow, but someone sent me a script for 6 months later, starring Tommy Wiseau and Neil Breen, and Nicolas Cage and Elijah Wood and all that. And it's actually kind of good. It was actually pretty good. It's not a huge script, but it's a couple pages, so I'll read it another time. But it was pretty good. It made me laugh. For those that don't know, yesterday was a clusterfuck, nightmare shit show of a stream in the best possible way. I really enjoyed it. And we came up with, me and the chat together came up with a script. Or rather, an idea for a movie called 6 Months Later with the help of Talk to Transformer and our collective brain yachts. About Tommy Wiseau, who rides around in a vampire car, who has to save the world from 14 Neil Breens, who are in charge of the world because they know best and they use shitty laptops from 1999 that don't work. And Macaulay Culkin, current age, plays an 8-year-old Kevin McAllister.
This is it. At least we have the high ground.
High ground, that's good.
Another hijacked cutter. Reporting a live cutter near the cell blocks. Immediate aid requested. It's breaking through and destroying everything. I'm the only one's gonna fight. The stormtrooper. He's dead. We're all out of close combat units.
Solid copy.
Still alive in there?
So far. Almost to the prison.
Good. Imperial distress calls are going out across the planet. If you don't get the prisoners soon...
We can do this.
So yeah, it's a cool movie. I want to see it made one day, maybe. We had some other really good plot points, some of which were explored in this script, some of which weren't. But, you know, it would take some workshopping. Like, the initial script that is there is pretty good, but it could use some rewrites, and I think if we, like I said, if we crowdsource this script, we could shop it around. Unfortunately, if Tommy Wiseau declines or Neil Breen declines, the movie falls apart.
The Jedi will be here any minute.
And our reinforcements.
In retreat.
Good.
Sir?
The fewer distractions, the better.
Found him.
I copy.
Come on, coward!
I got him.
Jedi's hurting.
Fear me.
Let's fear me. Is anyone else getting Avengers themes from the, or Avengers vibes from this theme song?
We don't even have to try here. Try harder. Dodging. You're just in my way.
I hear a Chewbacca. The edge of my lightsaber, my whatever the fuck this is, vibro staff, the edge of my Hitachi magic wand will be the death of you.
This needs power. No guards.
You laugh, but there's such a thing as a vibro knife in the Star Wars universe. In The Mandalorian, they show it. Mandalorian Fett has one, and he sticks it in the monster.
Hey, we're here to free you. You're not alone.
A high-frequency blade. Think about that for a minute. Like a knife that vibrates very quickly.
Visitation is not permitted.
Hey, is this the droid that Lando has sex with? Or no, that's a different model. Oh, this is the one from Rogue One. Never mind.
Stim, here!
How are these things more difficult than Purge Troopers? Hey, Tony, it's me, Captain. What took you so long, Captain? You don't pronounce the N. You just, it's just Cap. Cap. Captain N? Got it. Captain N. Good cartoon, grew up with it. Pop culture.
Nice job.
Perfect impression? Get out of here. No way that was a perfect impression. Listen, you gotta go for it. Sometimes you never know. It might work out. You know, I'll go for it. I'll try. But that was not a good Tony Stark. Vinny, when's the last time you played Shadows of the Empire? Probably about 20 years ago now. Maybe Corruptions, like 5 or 6? Vinny, that was Tony Stank. Who's the latest person to have problems with comic book movies? Alright, Alan Moore. We talked about this. Okay. Imperial security droids, also known as KX series security droids, are commonly used in service to the Galactic Empire. Formidable and specialized in close combat, these droids employ a combination of brute strength and rugged durability to capture and incapacitate enemies. They're equipped with a full comm relay, scramblers, and tactical programming, and they are built like football players. Rogue One, yes or no? Honest opinion. Yesn't. It's some. I like some of it. I just another movie I have a hard time rewatching because the characters are nothing burgers.
Glad to help.
Who's ready to fight some imps?
Yeah, Wookiees that look like they're made out of clay.
Great work, Jedi.
But, yeah, I don't know. There's the weird thing about all of the Star Wars movies that Disney has made, in my humble opinion, which is worth 0, as we all know, is that there's a lot of cool moments scattered throughout. There's, like, neat visual ideas, and there's some really cool fan servicey moments. And even if you don't like what's happening in the story, there are some nice things to look at.
Keep going. We'll cover you.
Big Wookie. Can you make that noise again, please? Fuck. It's weird because the end of Rogue One is both, I think, the most unnecessary moment in the entire movie.
You must be close.
But I watched it again on YouTube, like the moment. That one moment. It is really, really cool.
Where did you come from?
Totally unnecessary, but it's kind of cool. Which one? Red lighting in a dark hallway.
Got a hit on the target. Yeah, someone else take a hit.
Keep calm. Just watch yourself.
Traitor! What? And tell me, why is that a problem exactly? No!
Can I get some aid?
Can I even get that? Not now? Okay, thanks. That's all I needed to know, chat, because I'll try. I would try. And I would die.
BD1, over here.
Someone said I hate these fucking turbines, they're so boring. Criticizing turbines now. Wow. Sorry the turbines are, like, not entertaining enough for you, my dude. I guess.
Come back here.
Boy, Star Wars fans, myself included, we really criticize deeply.
That's not opening.
I see you have constructed a new lightsaber. How'd you do it? I went on the internet, I looked it up. I watched a YouTube video.
Moving out.
Am I missing something here? Pew pew pew. Okay. Well, I found where the game falls apart a little bit. A lot of bit. I think the game doesn't know how to handle surfaces like this. Someone just said, is that you, Donkey? How about that Donkey review? Did anyone else enjoy that? Did anyone actually expect him to like that game, though? I've seen, like, 8 of his reviews, and even I, before I clicked the thing, was like, there's no way he's gonna like this game.
You still back there?
Was funny, though. I got a kick out of it. He openly admits he has no patience.
He died from toxic fumes. The Empire is poisoning the planet.
He had more patience than I did. Poisoned Wookiee. I guess now would be a good time to say that, you know, some YouTubers that make videos and talk about video games aren't in fact like professionals and don't have the final say on whether a game is good or not. Myself especially. Just so you know. Whoa, legs. Vinny, any thoughts on Copa? Copacabana?
Brawler droid processing unit. You thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah, I'll talk about that for a second. Everything is an opinion, right? I guess so. And everyone has biases. I know what kind of games I like. If you got me to review the best sports game that ever existed, I would not have a good review of it. BD-1 can control damaged KX series security droids. What about NBA Jam or Blitz? Okay, those would get some pretty sick reviews. Chat, should I even be here at this point? Like, am I in the right spot? If anyone wants to give me a hand. Like, I think I have to be over here. Okay, so I am generally going the right way. Alright. Use the pipes to get to the platform. Alright. Okay, thank you, chat. Alright, so Copa is YouTube's thing. They were, I don't know every detail, so I'm not gonna try to go out on a limb here. But essentially, it is a federal law, and YouTube is implementing some stuff to protect their own interests. Basically, they were fined millions of dollars, and they're implementing some new, like, super, I don't want to say fucked up, but it's stuff that you have to be careful for, and they could fine a YouTube channel $48,000 for having content that's directed at kids if their algorithm thinks it's directed at kids when it's not. That said, I think some of the outrage about it and some of the, you know, worry about it is a little bit overstated. And I think that it's not going to be that... Like, I don't think it's going to change my channel. But remember, I use YouTube as a means to an end at this point.
I think I need help with this.
So if there was ever, like, a problem and I needed to archive my videos someplace else, that's fine. But I don't think this is going to affect my channel that much. I think some channels are going to get screwed. And that sucks. But there's a lot of people freaking out about it and thinking it's going to ruin their channels. Apparently, animation is kids programming, no matter what kind of animation. And that's a worry. So it's just another thing that YouTube has ill-explained. That's very scary. Considering the way they've handled things in the past, it's something that could be a problem. Arlo, yeah, someone said Arlo might have a problem. He's worried too.
In the prisons! We need the Wookiees to finish this! Hurry!
They've got reinforcements!
Jedi! Go! All right, Bunch, we're trapped!
We've got to get them out of there.
But again, before everyone completely, like, loses their mind over this thing, you gotta read about it, do the research, try to find out what it is, because I don't fully, and I don't want to speak out of line necessarily, because I don't know fully what I'm talking about. Shit.
Jedi is elusive. Your odds of surviving are low. Very low.
We got him.
Just as I went to hack the K unit, the KX unit, I died. If I hacked and held the block button, I would have been okay. But I got killed by a stormtrooper. I can't believe it. But one thing you can do, and one thing that I think I have to do, is you have to mark your channel as kid-friendly or not, and each video going forward. So if you make, let's say if you make videos... Let's say you make videos and some of them are directed towards kids. You have an option to mark them, and you have to mark them appropriately. So that's one important thing. I have 4,000 videos on my Full Sauce channel, or something like that. So there's an option that's available for me to just, like, say, my channel is not for children. And so that's what I'm going to do. Whether or not that works, I don't know, but I'm going to do that for all my channels. And hopefully it'll be okay. And hopefully I don't get fined $48,000.
Bullseye! I'll get you.
I can't believe that stormtrooper.
The Jedi is here. Come on! Watch out, you're deadly. Charge forward. He's dead.
Controlled operation.
Camera, please. Friend.
You've done it! The Wookiees are free! Get to the roof!
Yeah, again, I don't know. I think it's going to be one of those things. There's a lot of speculation in chat of stuff about, like, swearing more in videos might help, or is the Buru kid-friendly only because it's art? I don't know. I mean, I think that they're just covering their own asses, and I think that this is something that's already implemented in law, and then they just have to, like, prove that they're doing. I think there's gonna be some slimy, like, Elsa, Frozen Elsa Spider-Man channels that get fined.
I need to charge this.
But I have no idea. I think the best thing to do would be to wait and see what happens. And based on what YouTube is doing to channels, you know, adjust from there. Because, honestly, it's hard to know. They're unpredictable.
An intruder! Affirmative. Hit him again. Got a solid guard. Moving back.
Didn't I just kill this thing?
You cannot escape.
Didn't we become friends?
Mortality probable.
Stim!
Got you. Got you.
I just wanted to see what happened with Saw and that room that they were in. Maybe I can go back in there. Sorry, I get very antsy in video games when there's a path that I didn't maybe take. Like, I have to see what I possibly missed. And the answer is fucking nothing.
Tend to these wounds.
It's worth a shot. But yeah, it's just the algorithm that YouTube employs to determine which content is which is usually pretty terrible and is kind of scary. And so they use the word algorithm in their press statement. And that's the scary part. Vinny, is game music remixes considered kid-friendly? I don't know. I don't know. Speaking of like remixes and stuff, though, I'd like to play something for you. Not Japes. Take a look at that face. Not yet. Make no mistake. It was just a place to fix the bridge outside. Oh, I was just sitting there. I looked to the left. The camera snapped a picture. So weird. Figuring out how to make the game good. So 1, 2, 3, spin. Oh. Probably gonna need more than that. Probably gonna need more than that. So 1, 2, 3, spin. Universe brain creation. Probably gonna need more than that. Probably gonna need more than that. Oh. Rather not. Oh, make friends with a dog. RTX off, RTX on. So, anyway, I don't know why they're there. Does that bit sound familiar? That percussion? We're having way too much fun on the stream tonight. Yeah. This is pretty good, right? This is made by Master Sword. Now that I've adventured a bit, why don't we build a bit? You like killing your friends? Get those achievements. Holy fuck. And it was cool. Yeah, that's not me. That's not me. That's not. I mean, maybe. Where can I find the stuff? But this was an accident. I mean, I get it. 1, 2, 3. Don't worry, I'll link you to it. I have to play the whole thing now. Probably gonna need more than that. Probably gonna need more than that. So 1, 2, 3. Spin. Universe brain creation. Probably gonna need more than that. Probably gonna need more than that. Oh, I'd rather not. Oh, make friends with a dog. RTX off, RTX on. So, anyway, I don't know why they're there. We're having way too much fun on the stream tonight. Oh, am I imitating David Byrne? Yeah. Oh, that Wookiee died. One, two, three, speed! Play it again. Probably gonna need more than that. Probably gonna need more than that. So 1, 2, 3, speed! Universe brain creation. Probably gonna need more than that. Probably gonna need more than that. Oh, I'd rather not. Oh, make friends with a dog. RTX off, RTX on. So, anyway, I don't know why they're there. Oh God, glitch stormtrooper. We're having way too much fun on the stream tonight. I gotta say, I really appreciate the songwriting. Like, my clips and my samples are ridiculous, obviously, and some of them, it's like, what does that mean? What the fuck? I sound like half dead in some of them too, but I really, really like that. Just a good song, good songwriting, catchy, key change at the end. I linked it in chat if anyone wants it. It's called Play It Again, Vinesauce Vinny Remix by Master Sword. I just really wanted to play that for you because that got stuck in my head earlier. Nice work. Oh my God. What the fuck? Where'd this come from? My KX unit is going to die and that stormtrooper is still glitched.
Him.
Oh my God.
I need one. BD1?
Jesus.
Quick, help.
Oh!
Stim, now.
Oh shit, I didn't know you could do that. Got it. With fucking 1 HP left. Vinny, are you going to see American Utopia? David Byrne? I did. I did last year, but not on Broadway. Yeah!
Everyone! These have been hard years. We've lost comrades, friends, family to the Empire. Dark times. And yet the fire still burns. Hope still burns. The Jedi are not yet lost. We are not yet lost. Kashyyyk is not yet lost. For the cause!
Where'd they get an Andorian from Star Trek?
You've seen what the Empire has done to Kashyyyk. These stories are playing out all over the galaxy. My partisans could use a Jedi on our side.
I'm honored. But we have our own mission I can't walk away from. Not yet.
The offer stands. Keep it in mind.
Cal, I'm Mari Kosan, and this is Commander Kashyyyk.
Sorry. I'm not quite fluent.
Kashyyyk says he'll do whatever he can to find Tarful and vouch for you.
Do you think he's still alive?
Have faith, Cal. We'll be in touch with your ship. For the cause.
There's Han Solo is fluent, apparently.
You know Tarful?
He was part of Tarful's crew, but got captured on a mission.
Hang on.
They had to figure out a way to make Wookiees that would also run in game. But it just looks like he's wearing gloves.
Seems like Saw's willing to do whatever it takes. Hold that thought. Need to overcharge this.
Okay, I think I'm gonna save and stop here. I know this was a short stream, but we haven't done Dreams in a while, and I'd like to give Dreams extended time tonight. And considering I did my Blade Runner thing earlier, this game got shafted a little bit, but we'll definitely come to this again this week. Because I am enjoying this game, despite the Wookiees looking like old Greg and a variety of other glitches and jankeries. I really, really like this game. It's fun. And it does have some really good Star Wars moments. Like, I think it's just a really, like, good game with some big jank.
Imperial communications, and I picked up something. Project Augur has been reactivated. The Empire may be close to finding another Zeppo tomb.
Looks like we still have work to do. You think Saw and the others will be okay? Always looking on the bright side, huh? Hey, thanks. For everything.
Specialized Imperial flamethrowers have been modified to more effectively incinerate Kashyyyk's wildlife. Vinny, it was Japes. Vinny, it was not Japes. Vinny, it was Japes. Vinny, it was not Japes. Where did I last save? I can't believe I did that. No, whatever. Alright, we're good. Game is fine. Game is saved here. We'll just go and do the rest later. Good. Yeah, everything here is fine. We're all good. So I'm gonna play a song for you. Not this one, but what is this one?
It was not Jake's.
It kind of works.
Take a look at that face. Yeah, make no mistake. It was just a place to fix the bridge outside. Oh, I was just sitting there and looked to the left. The camera snapped the picture, so...
Okay. All right, I don't know what that other song was, but good. Thank you for watching. Like I said, sorry everyone who wanted to see more Star Wars tonight, but Blade Runner plus this got squished in there, and I'd like to do Dreams because we haven't done Dreams in like a month. So here is a song. Let me make sure I didn't play this song on a previous stream first, of course, and then I will... I haven't. Okay, so I'll be back in a couple minutes with Dreams.